Hello, I'm Hannah. Welcome back to my mostly knitting channel. Today we are going to go through some patterns I've been loving for this winter and yeah, get some knitting done while we're at it. I'm currently working on the Levitate wrap by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And I'm on the last sleeve. I am so close to being done. I'm really hoping to finish it up today or tomorrow. So that's what I'm up to. I hope you are also joining in on the very cozy chill vibe and knitting or sipping on something cozy perhaps. But yeah, let's just jump in. I have my laptop off here to the side. I'll be talking about 3 sweaters, 3 cardigans, a vest, a hat, and a scarf. So let's dive in. Maybe let's start with sweaters because that's what's pulled up first while I untangle my yarn. It's getting stuck in the zipper. The first sweater to talk about is the Birdie sweater by Duck Duck Knits. This is an Aran weight pattern that comes in 5 sizes and it, I believe, is a debut pattern. I think this might be, yes, this is this designer's first pattern. It is a top-down, work fully in the round, saddle shoulder, blending into raglan shaping, which I think is pretty unique and interesting. And yeah, slate ballooning on the sleeves. There's 1x1 rib finishes. And yeah, I think that's the main points. But yeah, it's very Baba-esque. And I just think it is a very well-designed shaping for something that's basic but still has some really interesting elements going on. I do love the roominess in the sweater and the balloon sleeves of it all. I'm just really impressed that this is their first pattern. So far there's 31 projects on this. I feel like I've been seeing it talked about quite a bit on Instagram, but yeah, mostly like tones of gray and brown sweaters, but I do think this could be really fun in a pop of color. You know, a cobalt blue is my default, but you know, bright red, I don't know. Any color literally would work for this. So, but yeah, I just thought this one was quite nicely done for a pretty basic sweater. The next one is a little bit of a different vibe. This is the Helos, I'm guessing is how it's pronounced, by Tina Hotanimi. Definitely not saying that correctly, but kind of a relaxed fit raglan top-down pattern with 3 color work. I think part of why I like this one so much is I really love the color choices and the sample photos. It is like this nice tan color with some bluish purple and like a dark brown, I think. I just kind of like that color combo. It's a little unexpected with the purple. It's not normally my thing, but anyways. It is a DK weight pattern. It comes in 8 sizes. The downside to this one is I believe it is only available in a book, which is the Tuku book, Nordic Knits. Not too many people have made this one. There's only 8 projects on Ravelry, but yeah, I don't know if I'll get the book to make this sweater, but I definitely will at least take inspiration from the color palette of the sample photo for this one. And next is same but different to the first pattern I mentioned. It is the Roomy Raglan by Jules Efterfield, and I believe this is another debut pattern. Yes, this is a first pattern by this designer. It is a bulky weight, 1 size pattern. So the designer essentially, from what I understand, yeah, it's basically designed to mimic the proportions of the Baba 51 jumper. And Baba sweaters come in just 1 size. So it's basically designed to match that sweater exactly. So, but yeah, it's a free pattern. So if nothing else, you could look at it and, you know, get some ideas on the construction if you wanted to, you know, try to size it up or down. But I just thought it's really cool. I am tempted. I really like this Baba sweater, so might as well knit it myself. And yeah, again, could be done in a number of colors. I feel like it leans well to a very neutral color, like a nice shade of gray or tan or whatever your vibe is, but it could also be a very fun statement sweater in a pop of color. And yeah, I feel like both the Rumi Raglan and the Birdie sweater could also be modified to have some sort of like intarsia color work on it. They're both great basics, and I think you could get pretty creative with them, I guess is what I'm getting at. Okay, we're moving on to cardigans. The first cardigan I want to talk about is the Serena cardigan by Cookie the Knitter. This is an Aran weight all over cable sweater cardigan, and it comes in extra small through 4XL. It, is a top down. You work the back yoke with shoulder shaping, then you do the front yoke with armhole shaping. You work back and forth for the body, do the arms, do the button band, kind of, drop shoulder cardigan construction. And yeah, I just really love the cables on this one. I feel like it's hard to get to, in my brain, it's hard to get the right mix of like, it looks full and complete without looking too busy with cables. And I feel like it's a hard balance to strike, and I think this pattern does it. So yeah, I think I do like the white, off-white color in the sample. I think this would be really fun in like a poppy red color. I don't know what it is about like a poppy red cardigan. Poppy red cabled cardigan is like, I don't know why that's stuck in my brain, but I really want one. I think this pattern's relatively new. It just came out December 2025. So there's 21 projects, and I'm sure a lot more coming. The next cardigan is the Nest jacket by Ronte Studio. And this is a worsted weight textured cardigan, and it comes in extra small through 5XL. Oversized textured pattern, drop shoulder crew neck cardigan. It's a slip stitch pattern to get the texture, and then it has 1x1 details. What? 1x1 rib details on the hems and the cuffs. And I definitely think the color of the sample photo is influencing me. I love this like mossy green yellow color. Just one of my favorite colors. So I think the sample photo is just perfect. And this is another relatively new pattern that came out in November of 2025. Oh, what's going on? The sample is also using Cascade 220, which I feel like comes in quite a good range of colors. And I think it would also be easy to substitute and use another worsted weight yarn. I think making this in something really woolly and wearing it more as a jacket rather than a cardigan could be a really cool way to style this one. And yeah, it just kind of feels like a cool girl cardigan. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. All right, the last cardigan to chat about today is the Zakuri cardigan by Noriko Ichikawa. This is a little bit of an older pattern. It came out in January 2023. I have been eyeing it for probably since then, but I don't know why it like popped back up in my mind, and I've been thinking about it recently. But it is a worsted weight pattern that comes in 9 sizes. It's a top-down cardigan, mostly stockinette, but it has this really interesting ribbing on the hem and the cuffs. It's quite thick ribbing, and it's kind of a statement look to it. I do also really love that the neck, it's like kind of a crew neck cardigan, but a little bit higher neck, almost towards mock neck. Yeah, this one is suggested to be made with Durum Natura Gilead yarn, which I have been hearing so much about this yarn. I don't know if it's one of those things where I like seeking it out or if I'm actually just hearing about it a bunch, but I swear I've seen this yarn or heard people talk about it like 10 times this week. I just ordered some actually because I need to try it. I've heard so many people say it's like a favorite yarn or a top favorite. I might potentially make this cardigan with it, or we'll see. But I do love the kind of more woolly structured look to this one. Again, I feel like you could treat it more like a jacket, you know, an outer layer jacket rather than like a cozy cardigan. And yeah, I think this design is, again, kind of like an elevated basic. It's pretty simple, but it has enough unique details where it kind of stands out and looks just cool. In the description of the pattern, it says, Zakuri means casual, comfortable, thick fabric in Japanese. And I think that is essentially exactly what this cardigan is. So yes, maybe this will be the year I finally make it. We'll see. All right, we're moving on from cardigans and into the vest category. I am really into the open side vest. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but essentially a vest that the front and back are not connected on the sides and they are connected via, I think I mostly like it when they're tied, but occasionally a button or something similar. And my favorite pattern that I found so far for this is the Yulina vest by Alexandra Solowianiuk. Another last name I'm probably not saying correctly, but it is, yeah, essentially that, a vest where the front and back are not connected and they have a tie on the side. I like this one in particular because it has a subtle but interesting texture to the actual front and back pieces. And also the ties are the right balance of thickness and length to me. I like when the ties are a little bit more like kind of, I don't know, not too bulky, but have some substance to them. I like when they're a little bit thicker, kind of more like a double knit band, kind of similar to actually what I have on this cardigan right now. Like here's one of the ties. It's like pretty substantial. I don't know if that's the right word. Rather, I'm saying like in comparison to like more of a thin like I-cord, you know, just like a smaller tie. But anyways, and I like that the ties are kind of longer on this one. I feel like you can make like a very loose looking bow. And I just think that adds something interesting to an outfit when you have kind of, I don't know, a more substantial bow tie situation. So let me actually tell you about the pattern. It is an Aran weight pattern that comes in extra small through 5X. It was released in December 2024, so about a year old now. And yeah, it says you start in the front and work a series of increases and decreases to shape underarms and neck, finish with double folded neck and long double knit ties. Oh, it's also noted in here, it can be tied with big statement bows, but there's tons of ways to tie the vest for different looks and fits. So that is interesting. I guess you could kind of wrap the ties around and do it more like a belt situation or something like that too. So that's fun that it's kind of like a multi-wear situation. That was the only vest I have. We have 2 accessories, a hat and a scarf. So the hat is the marble beanie by Jack Studio or Jack C. Slack. And this one is another newer pattern, came out in December 2025. It is a light fingering weight pattern that comes in 6 sizes, newborn to adult large for the hat. And it's made with Knitting for Olive merino, I think is a sample yarn. It is pretty complex. It's a reversible intarsia beanie with abstract asymmetrical color blocking. Like to me, this looks very nature-esque, kind of. I'm seeing like tree branches or rivers or something like that in it. And this would definitely be a commitment because yeah, it's intarsia. There's duplicate stitch. There's multiple colors and it's a reversible. So you're basically making like 2-in-1 beanies. So definitely not an easy beanie pattern, but I just think the look of it is really unique and interesting. Last but not least is a scarf. This is the Agnes scarf by Alice Hoyle or Rose Knitwear, and this is a DK weight scarf, one size, probably very easy to modify both the length and width of it, but it's yeah, just made with knit and purl stitches, 2-color work, probably do more colors if you wanted, and yeah, it's simple but effective. I feel like it is a really cool way to make a 2-color scarf. Color work that's more, you know, interesting and dimensional than, you know, stripes or something like that. And yeah, I think this one is available in her Rose Knitwear book, but you can also buy the pattern separately on their website. I have some Noro yarn that I think would look really cool, just like some solid color Noro yarn that I think would look really cool with this. Yeah, I'm not normally like a scarf, like a long scarf girly like this, but I do really like this one. And I do think it would be a very obviously practical winter accessory and a cool pop of color to have for the winter time. So that is the Agnes scarf. And that's all the patterns I have for today. I feel like I could probably do this for hours and just walk through the hundreds of patterns I have favorited in my Ravelry, but we're keeping it reasonable today. But if you like this style of video, let me know. I'm happy to make more of them. If you are not already, I'd very much appreciate if you'd subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'll also link my Instagram, Ravelry, etc. below, and I'll make sure all these patterns are linked too. So yeah, thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.